What's going on, DIYers? This is a DIY video that I did 5 years ago, and I stumbled upon this on my phone 2 days ago, and I finally get to finish it today. So this is the Resin Replacement on the Waterboss 900. Now in the beginning, the video is going to be a little confusing because I did not took the video while disassembling all the parts, but just follow along. To remove that panel, you have to disconnect the 2 wires in the back, and then you can move the control panel to the right and it will snap off. After that, you can remove this drive motor by using a Phillips screwdriver. Then you can remove this overflow drain line. Once you're done with that, you can remove this plastic cover that covers the shutoff valve. Once that's done, you can remove the 2 metal screws on the brine valve housing. Now keep in mind that there's a rubber O-ring and a rubber grommet inside of it, so when you reinstall this later on, just be mindful that the concave side is going to be facing out. If you replace it incorrectly, your water softener is not going to function correctly. And this is the schematics here. So at this time, go ahead and remove the plastic nut, and the float should come right off, and that's how it looks. At this time, go ahead and remove the 2 long screws on the front there and 4 short ones on the drive end cap. And that's the drive end cap assembly right there. That should slide right out, and the end cap on the left hand side. There's a rubber O-ring on that, just make sure that you don't lose that or come right off. This is the adapter assembly. There's a turbine inside that measures the water, and a rubber O-ring in each of the hole. Just make sure when it falls off that you don't lose it, because that's very important. At this time, go ahead and clean all your parts. I ended up replacing this piston because it had deteriorated. The rubber grommet that's on the left. You can buy just that piece, or you can buy the whole thing, but just be mindful it costs like $150. It is actually quite expensive now for all the parts. If my water softener breaks, then I'm not going to be fixing it anymore. I'm replacing it with a saltless system. This is the ejector assembly. I already cleaned this before disassembling the whole thing because I was trying to troubleshoot why we're not getting soft water. So anyway, this plastic piece right here can be removed using a flathead screwdriver and pushing all the tabs around it. And it comes right off. And the plastic protector that protects the float can be removed after that, and then clean the whole tank there. This is how you remove and replace the tank, but be mindful that this weighs about 100 pounds with water inside, so just be mindful of that. This is the safety shutoff assembly. Just be mindful that all the parts are made out of plastic that could snap off if you're rough on cleaning on this thing. There's a ball on the bottom piece right there that you have to clean where the mesh is. Just make sure you clean that area as well. Just use salt water and a brush. This plug right here could come off using a 16 or 18 millimeter. I can't remember what it was, but once you remove the cap, all the old resin should come out. You can place that hose right there and just flush everything out. Once that's clean, go ahead and replace the top area there with a rag so that the resin is not coming off. Then you turn the tank upside down. This is the resin that I used. Purchased this for $95 5 years ago, and it is $145 now. I did not use the whole bag on this. There's about maybe 1/8 left in the bag. But I tried my best to put as much resin in the tank as possible. Yeah, get yourself a big funnel, and that this water This water jar jug worked out perfectly because the hole is bigger, so the wrist can just slide in perfectly. So clean the area, replace the plug, and then reinstall back in the tank or the enclosure. And then from there, go ahead and place this the float protector. Then the top plastic piece can come back in. Make sure that it's lined up correctly, or else you will have a hard time trying to snap the top plastic piece
right here
in place.
Oops. There. Where will that go in? Piston flush. 2 screws.
Okay, now replace the metal screws.
Secure this thing in place. This plastic nut right here.
And then the float can go back in.
Lighten this up.
Just reinstall the plastic nut, but do not tighten it yet. We're going to use the waterproof grease or soap and water so that the drive assembly can slide in. And then you can replace the screws on the brine assembly. Now the long screws goes in the front, and then 4 screws in the back. Don't tighten it yet because the drive assembly will come in on this next one here. Yeah. So once that's in, then you can place the 4 short screws in the back. Once you have all the screws in, then you can tighten all the screws. Make sure not to over tighten it because the rubber O-rings is doing a great job of preventing any leaks. So you don't have to overdo everything because everything is made out of plastic. So I want you to break a part. Okay, now the drive motor can be reinstalled. And then the control panel. Once you reinstall the control panel, reattach the wirings. It can only go to a specific slot, so you can't really mess this up. Once that's done, put 2 gallons of water in the enclosure, and then fill it with water softener salt. Then reconnect the power supply. Press the regenerate button until you can hear the motor start turning, and let the water softener do its thing, and then in about 1 or 2 cycles you should be able to get the full soft water. So it cost me about $20 for the piston part and the bag of resin, and that is that. It doesn't cost you anything to like my video, so don't be a douchebag. I would appreciate it. Thank you. See you next time.